Hi everybody, today we are heading out to take our son Andrew back to school like so many other parents these days, but we're going to take you along for a drive and we'll see what trouble we can get into on the way.
One of the great things about road trips is seeing interesting things like this trailer made completely of household doors. Check it out as we drive by.
Crossing the Illinois River.
Here we come on to a military convoy. If you recognize what they're hauling, please leave a comment, because I don't. After lunch, we decided to take a walk, at least around the block in downtown Effingham. We'll see a park with some monuments to the veterans who served from Effingham. But on the way there, we ran into some guys that were trying to carry some heavy mosaics into a building, and you know what? Always stop and help out your fellow neighbor if you can. If you see this camper that we're passing here on the right, it's hauling a trailer with some kind of jalopy. If you know what that is, leave it in the comments, because even though I know a lot about cars, I don't recognize that car and frankly a lot about that era.
As we get into Carbondale, you'll see the paw prints painted on the street. Those paw prints lead you directly to Southern Illinois University, home of the Salukis. The college gets its mascot from a dog breed that originated in Egypt, and Southern Illinois is known as the Egypt of Illinois. I'm not sure why. But that would be interesting. If anyone knows that answer, leave it in the comments so we can all learn.
As we approach the college, we are going to stop this portion of moving him in. We won't bore you with the details of actually moving him into his dorm, but before we leave, we'll see what his dorm building looks like.
I just want to say this was an extremely hot day. Temperatures were close to 100 degrees. So it was a lot just to be out there unloading the cars and getting everything into his dorm. I want to shout out to the Southern Illinois University planning people for putting out bottles of water in big tubs of ice for anyone who needed them. All right. We are at the Holiday Inn Express in Marion, Illinois. Here's a little room tour. We have a king suite. There's our bed. We have a window overlooking the canopy outside the front entrance. I've got a little sitting area over here. Nice desk and TV. Plenty of storage. Let's go take a look. We've got a microwave, coffee, mini fridge, and here's a nice sized bathroom and shower. Everything looks great.
All right, hey, it is Saturday morning. We are still in Marion, Illinois. We just moved our son into college yesterday, and we are about to go say goodbye for a couple months to him. Just want to say that Andy, we are very proud of you. We know you're going to do great this semester and have a great senior year. In fact, we have two kids that we are very proud of. Our daughter Alex is celebrating her birthday this week. Sorry, we're not going to be there to celebrate with you, but I know you're going to have a great time. So proud of our daughter and her husband, who are wonderful people, and I know that they're up back home putting lots of good into the world. So now, on to the next adventure.
Since so long, all the feels are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, make it through the day upright. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never imagine something better. Yeah, right. Now you're cooking on high heat in the middle of the street. Roller coaster, take me to a better time. Let's go! All sing your high line with the roller coaster of life. Yeah. It's time to all choose your timeline on the roller coaster of life. You seem to easily forget how to place your bet. When everyday life gets you down, you gotta steal the crown. Got to own it. Don't bitch and moan about it, please. God forbid you scrape your knees, and it's nothing to sneeze at. Oh, I've told you over and over again. You gotta get both hands around it and make your own plans. Roller coaster, it's taking over, it's about time. Oh, all sing your high line on the roller coaster of life. You've got to all choose your timeline with the roller coaster of life. I want to go down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole of life. And now it's about to leave. Oh, roller coaster.
One of the big boys repainted to be like Superman. super van.
There's a little platform you walk around the base.
Superman is mounted in a giant Superman S. We are with Superman in Metropolis, Illinois. And if I step up here and tilt it back, you can see that Superman is mounted in that giant S, just like the logo on his chest. Cutting her head off as I always do, because I'm just bad at this camera stuff.
It's a cute little downtown. There's a Superman museum. There's some gift shops nearby. It's worth the stop if you're in Southern Illinois.
Yep, we're gonna go check out the museum here. As we cross this bridge, we are now leaving Illinois and crossing into Kentucky. For my buddy John, we are now driving through Paducah, Kentucky. He'll know what it means.
Since so long, all the fields are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, make it through the day upright. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never imagine something better. Yeah, right. Now you're cooking on high heat in the middle of the street. Roller coaster, take me to a better time. Let's go. All sing your high line with the roller coaster of life. Yeah. It's time to all choose your timeline on the roller coaster of life. You seem to easily forget how to place your bet. When everyday life gets you down, you gotta steal the crown. Got to own it. Don't bitch and moan about it, please. God forbid you scrape your knees, and it's nothing to sneeze at. Oh, I've told you over and over again. You gotta get both hands around it and make your own plans. Roller coaster, it's taking over. It's about time. Oh, all sing your high line on the roller coaster of life. You've got to all choose your timeline with the roller coaster of life. Roller coaster. I want to go down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole.
I am approaching one of my Mecca places, the National Corvette Museum. Oh, music to my ears, on cue. We'll see you inside. If you order a new Corvette, new from the factory, you can actually choose as an option to pick up your Corvette here at the museum. And that red one that we just scanned past is actually going to be picked up by a customer from Ohio. As a part of the experience, your car gets put on display here on this gallery as you enter the museum, and then you get a special tour and some other things that go along with it. This is the first. And this was, like Henry Ford, or as long as you wanted black.
Yeah.
This was it. White with red interior was the only option. It actually came with a 4-cylinder engine originally. Because again, it was supposed to be just a light roadster, kind of like inspired by the European. The Corvette was actually named after a small, fast naval warship class called the Corvette. In the naval terms, it was the smallest class that was rated for war. They were traditionally fast, maneuverable, lightly armed, and used for escort, patrols, and quick strike missions. So, an apt name.
Such as this testing chamber, which reproduces all types of road conditions. Other motor exhibits a simplified demonstrations of engineering operations. This one shows what happens inside the engine and the carburetor when the accelerator is depressed.
This is the second generation Corvette, also known as the C2. That white cove was an option that wasn't offered for very many years, but it's very iconic for this version. It's also one of my favorite versions of the Corvette. This is the home of the Corvette. Every Corvette made is born right here in this complex in Bowling Green, Kentucky. You see two examples right here. This is the 8th generation, also known as the C8. 8 for 8th generation, obviously. We're here in front of the Corvette factory. One day, maybe I'll own one of these beauties. Specifically one of these two, you know, or any others, doesn't really matter.
This video is over, but the adventure is not. So like us and subscribe and join us next time when we take on the Bourbon Trail.